Hey there guys, and as usual I am recording this video again. Guess what? I forgot to fucking plug my mic in again. My god. Anyways, let's just get to this video. We're going to learn about inheritance, right? So, in my car class I have created a method called about, okay? So, I have created two new classes, an SUV and a sports, right? So you pretty much know logically that the sports is a car and SUV is a car, right? So how do we tell that to Java? We're going to use a keyword called extends and write the name of the class after it. So now Java knows that this SUV is actually belonging to car, and similarly this sports is actually belonging to car. Imagine this is like this. SUV is over here, car is over here in a bubble, and this bubble now has subclasses of sports and super. So it's basically a classification diagram in which the car is on top, and below it there is sports on one side and there is SUV on one side, right? So that's what's going on over here. And now since this sports belongs to car and this SUV belongs to car, it's going to have access to anything inside this car. May it be a method or may it be their variables. Don't believe me? Let me just show you. We're going to declare an SUV, Jeep, and then we're going to declare a sports, Lambo, typos everywhere. Anyways, sports Lambo, and I'm gonna set Jeep. Now see Jeep dot. It's going to show me all the variables inside the car: current speed, type, doors, top speed, about. If you don't believe me, you can see that I have not declared any of these in SUV class, but all of these in the car class, right? So I'm just gonna quickly set the type of this to SUV. I'm not gonna set every variable because that's gonna take a while. System.out.provide Jeep.type, and now I'm going to call the about function on Jeep and Lambo. Now I'm gonna run this program, and as you can see, it printed me the Jeep.type as SUV. So Jeep has something called type, which it's getting from here and not from here, because over here nothing is defined. And similarly for this case. And for Jeep.about and Lambo.about, here's what happens. When I call Jeep.about, it's basically I'm telling Java that run the about function on Jeep variable. Java sees that Jeep is an SUV type from this and confirms this from seeing this SUV constructor, right? So it will go to the SUV class, see that there is no about method defined over here. So then it will see that, but wait, this SUV is basically a subclass of car. Is there any method named about or any function named about defined in the car class? It will go in the car class, check, yes there is, and it will run this about function for the SUV. So it printed me this is a car, and as you can see, this function basically does nothing but prints this is a car. Same is the case for the sports. It sees the Lambo is sports, goes into sports, there is no about function, checks if there is any superclass, yes there is, goes into superclass, finds the about method and runs it, right? So this is pretty much it. This is inheritance, right? Now I'm going to show you this. If I write it car over here, it's fine because I'm just saying that there's a car named Jeep and it's an SUV, okay? But if I write this the other way, if I say that the SUV is a car, it's going to print me an error. Why? Because it's kind of hard to understand by this example. So let's take another example. Say you have two classes, animals and cat, right? And Now a cat can be anything. It can be a soft toy cat or an animal cat, right? So let's just say it like this. Every animal is a cat. Okay? But not every cat is an animal. Because a cat can be soft toy or anything. So this phrase is actually used a lot in our object-oriented programming. It's basically saying that every subclass belongs to the superclass, but not every subclass is actually a superclass. So it's basically that if I am writing an animal, and if it's basically like this, if I'm writing animal, what's a cool cat name? Luna is equal to new cat. If I'm writing like this, I'm saying that this is an animal, and I know that every animal is a cat, so this is correct. But if I write like this, cat Luna is equal to new animal, I'm trying to say that every cat is an animal. But hey, a cat can be a soft toy as well. So this is not basically giving me a proper classification. Whereas I'm saying, it's basically like this. Beforehand, I'm saying that there is an animal, Luna, and it is a type of cat. I'm saying like this. But over here, I'm trying to say there's something cat named Luna, and it may be an animal, it may be a soft toy, so Java gets pretty much confused. So that's why this is the wrong thing. So hence, car is equal to SUV is a good thing, but SUV is equal to car is not a good thing, because an SUV can be a BMW or much more things, rather than simply being a car. Okay, so just get the hang of it. You can declare, you can change a superclass to a subclass, but you cannot change a subclass to a superclass. Okay? And similarly, if I do it for over here, car, it's okay. If I run this, it's going to no change in the output. So this is pretty much using a polymorphism. This is kind of an example of polymorphism. And that's my phone ringing, so let me just put it into the silent mode. So anyways, this is pretty much polymorphism. I am using one data of car as two different types, as an SUV and as a sports. You are going to see the polymorphism in detail later on. And now if I quickly declare an about function over here, and I'm going to say that in this about function, just print that this is an SUV. And I'm just gonna copy it and quickly paste it because I'm lazy. And I'm going to print it that this is sports. Okay? Now if I run this, see what happens. Come on. There we go. And instead of running this, I actually connected it to debugger, so sorry. So here's the result. Now what happens, Java finds that Jeep, sorry, not over here, over here, Jeep.about, okay? Java sees that Jeep is a car over here, right? But it is a type of SUV, so Jeep is basically an SUV. So Java will go to the SUV class first, look for an about function. It finds it right here. So instead of finding a superclass and then going into the superclass, it simply will run this about function. So hence you see that this is an SUV over here. And the same thing for the sports. It says that Lambo.about. Okay, Lambo is a car. Okay, it is a type of sports car. So it goes over here, checks if there is any about function. Yes, there is, and runs this about function instead of going into the superclass. If you have any confusions, let me just quickly clear you with this. And it's going to make no difference. See? Make no difference. So in terms of say inheritance, you can do it like this. Write the name of the superclass over here, and then to change the type of the object, you can simply use the constructor of the subclass, because that makes sense. Why? Because it makes sense saying that this Lambo car is actually a sports car, this Jeep car is actually an SUV car, and it doesn't make sense saying this SUV Jeep is actually an SUV. Well, it actually makes sense, but if you write this car, it makes more sense in terms of classification, or in terms of real world classification, because car, then there are lower class of cars and SUV, and then there are Jeeps and many more things. And similarly, there is car, then there is the sports, and then there's Lambo inside it, right? So this is inheritance and polymorphism and function overriding. Why overriding? Because this about function in the car class is overridden by the SUV class about function and the sports about function. It's overridden by this function about this about function is overridden by these. So overriding basically means that it finds this function first and gives this priority than this. You'll learn more about overriding when we'll talk about the abstract classes and the interfaces in Java. So anyways, I'm just gonna end this video over here. If you have any doubts in this video or in any video, you can leave them in the comment section. Thanks for watching. I hope I was able to make everything pretty much clear to you. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.